All right, so I tried to pay a lot of attention, but I felt like I was absorbing a lot more than I was writing it down. But just right off the bat, I liked when Jason blurted out, "Ty should be banned." Just captured me. I was like, yes, I totally agree. Casey, another one of our stars. Dave, when you said, "without podium or further ado," I thought that was a really good segue into the next evaluator. I liked the way that Stacy used serendipitous when she was talking about being a corker, and also her 450 channels of nothing. That was very descriptive of how I feel about TV as well. Tran, you also used serendipitous. Norm, I really liked in your evaluation, you said it was a 2 to 3 minute speech that took a week and a half. It just took it from how she packed it in and all the preparation that Beth put into her speech. Steve, you said conflict-free, and I liked at the end you said an effective way to give a canned speech. Because I think of this canned speech as being just like chuck it out there, but obviously Marianne put a lot into that speech to make it not feel canned. Marianne, I liked some of the words you said: rock the boat, smooth it over, look beneath the surface. With Rana, keep having surprises. Life can be insane. I'll remember that. And with Karen, be patient. And then when you said the baton has been passed to her, I just like that phrase you used. And Michaela, you just make me laugh. She's drunk and I feel happy. She wants to control me, but she can't. And Ted, you said conflict resolution, and that's you just keep trying. And I really appreciate the words that you shared about my dad. It's really meaningful to me, and I'm going to be thinking about him a lot on my special day. So I appreciate you sharing that today. Carla, you said very definitely. You might want to, use one of the two.
That's not very good at all.
And she also said things of the heart, and she's not much of an open book, but I do feel like you are. You just, you know how to speak with us very openly.
That's true.
And Casey said, pull some of my shenanigans. And I think we all could relate to what you were talking about. And then when Martin just said, TV's in the bedroom, you said it kind of like a statement. And I felt like that was fun. That's all I have. I had a great time listening to everything you all had to say, the advice, the words of wisdom, and really I appreciate it because it means a lot to me that I have your support, and I'm going to be on this journey with all of you. So thank you.
Please return any and all votes to our table topics master, Stacy Schwan.
Still need some evaluation.
So, to wrap up all this advice that you've been given, I can think of 2 words from Isaiah Thomas, the great basketball player. He said, be kind. And with that, I shall return. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'll counter.
No problem. Actually, I should do a better job, but I only got a few. Imagine you have 3 R, 2 I have 1 Robert, you have 2 and Steve, you have 1 And thank you, Ted, for helping.
I would now like to return control of this conflict-free meeting.
Before I throw it over to the Corker for the Corkers Award, I must give her extra credit. I am but a cog in the machine this week. She was the impetus behind the Happy Surprises. I do not want to take credit where credit is certainly due to Stacey. So it looks like she's still counting. So I'll give her another 30 seconds, and I will tell you, Kristin, that getting married is the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. I have 3 beautiful kids. I love them to death, but my wife comes first. Make your spouse the #1 thing in your life, because then your kids are going to see that. Again, no pressure. Your kids will see that, and you're going to set them up for success in their future. When my folks were married, they ended up getting divorced a few months after their 25th wedding anniversary. I was kind of upset because they spent 5 G's on that party. I was thinking to myself, I could use that money. But I was a bit more selfish back then. My mom, because she had so much trouble getting pregnant, she always called me her miracle baby, and I was her sole focus, which is why I'm a mama's boy. But I think that was part of the issue. It was that she didn't focus on my dad. So I want to encourage you to focus on Nick and vice versa. Not at you, I'm pointing at the camera, not at you. So with that, I will now partner, Stacy Schwan.
I'm torn because part of me would really like to give it to Beth, because Beth was the spearhead behind this whole thing, and without her we wouldn't be having this celebration. But really, without Kristin, we wouldn't be having a celebration at all. So, in honor of your upcoming wedding and the fact that you are a special girl today, to everyone in the club, I will give you the cork.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And I'm really glad we got a chance to drink champagne, because this is one of the things I've always wanted in our club.
There's still more there. Please drink it and take the food home, because I can't eat it right now. So please take it.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
I am missing a couple of best evaluator votes. If you want to vote and have not, please send it my way.
We can't vote early and often like we do in Chicago.
So I'm going to say best meeting ever. Day drinking and breakfast cake? Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So while we're waiting on Stacy with the last minute votes, does anybody have last minute advice for Kristin? This is your opportunity. So, Joe.
I don't really have an advice, but I just feel like my invocation, I just want to surprise you. So I didn't really say anything to you about, you know, how happy I am for you and Nick. And I just want to wish you the best and Nick the best. And I think you heard a lot of great advice. And I think Jason's advice about pay attention to your spouse is wonderful. And when you have kids, don't argue in front of the kids. That's another wonderful advice, to give respect and patience. Patience. Grow together. That's one thing I'm blessed that 30 years ago, suddenly Jim and I got to go to class to grow together. Very important to grow together, because life is just a journey, and each of us have our own path. One thing I learned is to accept the other person the way they are, the way he or she is, and not to try to change them all the time, because that would definitely create conflict. Mary will talk about if we keep focused on changing others. And I'm very happy to meet you and Nick. Both of you are wonderful, wonderful people. So I think you guys are gonna have a long-lasting marriage. And in Vietnamese, we say, may you have your marriage long-lasting until your hair turn white and your teeth fall out. That means you're really, really, really old together and happily together. Congratulations.
Yay!
So now you have something to look forward to. Thank God for dental care and hair dye. Tran, go ahead.
A lot of advice already, but I just also want to share with you and Nick one thing that I've been practice is also respect and look at your partner as a teacher, whether it's the love teacher or the tough teacher, because it's always that is something that you can grow. And Nick, same for you. She can be your teacher, so you both can grow together and happy together. So happy marriage.
Thank you.
like to thank the club. Last Sunday, I'm the new treasurer of the California Aikido Association, and I gave my first report in a room full of senseis, way higher ranking than me, but I stood up and I gave a 2-minute report, and afterwards, my sensei, who's a very critical person, came up to me and he said, "You did a really good job. You stood up, you looked around the room, and you talked loudly enough, and you were concise and succinct." And I thought, I gave a Toastmaster speech.
Toastmaster testimonial for Michael. He was on an important call this week with his boss and the executive committee. And after the call, his boss told him, she said, "You handled yourself better than anyone else on the call." And I think that, again, we know that a lot of that, he says, because I told him what I was going to tell him, I told him, and then I told him what I told him, and left it at that, and that's what made the difference. And Toastmasters is what he has to credit with his ability to be effective and be noticed on the job for his communication skills.